Hey everybody, happy Friday. So I just made a video about some of the dreams that I've been having and about how like they're starting to freak me out because like some of them are starting to like come to pass. And it like kind of brought up another point of something that I've been having dreams about a lot that I did want to just stop and just kind of speak on. So in the book of Revelation, it talks about how in the end, before Jesus comes back, there's going to be this great apostasy, this great falling away. And it says that even the elect will be deceived if it be possible. And so there's going to be a lot of people who fall away from being in the church and like not wanting to be a part of, you know, what God has said and things like that. And I believe in my heart that the seeds of that are already like in our church and like already in our culture. Like you may hear me talk about this a lot, but I think that we're already kind of at a place where like if God says it but culture doesn't agree with it, we move more towards culture. And I do believe that the line between like Christ follower well, hold on, let me say this differently. I believe like the line in the church has just been super blurred, and we're really just like writing this line. The line is written in grace, right? Like, oh, because of grace, we can all live however we want and look however we want. So to me, it's almost getting to this point where it's like, you can go to church but live like the world, still call yourself a Christian, whatever. And to me, it's like, if that's the point, then Jesus died for nothing, but whatever, I don't know. But I think that I wanted to talk about this because I do, like, when I think about the great apostasy, I think about the fact that it is prophesied that people are going to fall away. It's like really scary to me because, like I said, I think those seeds are already planted kind of in our culture right now, where we have this like belief that like if Jesus requires something of us but it is difficult, we don't have to do it. And so I think that as time goes on and this world, because we are in the end times, as things get a little bit tougher and more difficult, and there is more pressure for being a Christian, as culture shifts and changes and says this is what is acceptable. If you have a message that's different, you're bad or wrong, or you're going to be doxxed, or this could hurt you. I think that there's going to be a lot more people that say like, okay, wait a second, if I keep going this direction with God, it's going to cost me. I should just move over here and do what the world is requiring, you know? And I just think that that's something that we need to be very, very careful about and really cautious of, because nothing in this world is worth your soul. Like, we say it all the time now and people don't really believe it, but nothing in this world is worth your soul. Like, if you are a Christ follower, like, and you are in a relationship with God, like, you need to take cues from God about what that looks like to be in relationship with him. Anyways, just sorry. I really feel strongly in my heart that we have normalized a lot of things in Christian culture that completely go against the standard of God. And when it comes time to stand for the Lord, because we've already so built an identity on this platform of like, God doesn't really want me to do anything that's hard. He's not going to want me to give up my life. Like, when he starts to move in ways that we don't expect and understand, and ways that we won't necessarily call good, we're going to begin to say like, oh, no, then I don't want this and I don't need it. So I just want to encourage you, like, if you are a Christian person who's going through a really, really incredibly difficult season in your life right now, where things just seem so hard, so rough, so tough, like you don't understand, you feel like you've been faithful and God is just like not answering you, or you feel so depressed, or you feel sad and you're just trying to be faithful, you're praying, like, I just really want to encourage you to like hold on, because I really believe in my heart of hearts that a lot of us are in this season right now, or in that space right now, because the Lord is preparing for such a time as what happens when we've built our relationship with God as a church on God's going to supply all my needs, and then famine hits the earth because we're in the end times. What happens when I built my relationship with God on, oh, God's going to protect me and keep me safe, and then global persecution of Christians hit the earth because we're in the end times. Like, what happens when I've built my identity on God's going to always provide, and he's a provider, and I'm always going to have everything that I need, and then all of our jobs close down or food runs out? Like, what happens when all of the reasons that we serve God go away? Is he still enough, or are we just going to go the way of culture because it'll be easier? So I just really want to encourage you. Like, I just full transparency, like, I'm in a season of like, God is so good. There's peace all around me. I'm super thankful. I love the Lord, and I'm thankful to serve him the way that I've served him. But you all know, like, there are so many things that I've prayed for that I've thought like would have happened by now, that I'd see by now. And internally, there are things inside of me that are really starting to like groan under the weight of like, man, I've prayed for this for a long time. And so some days are like rough, like some days are like really, really rough, and I almost like will speak to myself sometimes like, this isn't that big of a deal. And then I just have to remember, like, biologically and physically we have needs and wants and emotions and all that stuff, and as a human being, like, I've got to bear up underneath all of that and continue to tell myself the truth. But sometimes like it gets dark and it gets heavy, and I think to myself like, dang, I don't want to be here. But I'm thankful because I know that there are going to be times ahead where we are going to look to heaven and be like, bro, you're supposed to be the good guys. Like, what's going on here? So I just wanted to encourage you, like, if you're in that season and you're like, man, God, you're not seeming real good, I want you to know that that may just be the preparation for the times where like it's going to be chaotic here and awful. And, you know, and honestly, like, the Bible talks about the seed being planted in good soil, or the seed being planted in soil that's shallow. And then like as the troubles of life come, the seed like sprouts up quickly, but then life's like, you know, life like chokes it out and stuff like that. And I think that there's so many people who are in that kind of a relationship with God and don't realize it. Like, the soil around you is fostering quick growth but not sustained growth. And yeah, I just think we need to be very careful of that. Like, this is gonna be harsh, but find better Bible teachers. Like, if you're following a whole bunch of people to feed you spiritually, and like you're not learning more about the Bible but you know all about their personal life, that's probably not someone you need to continue to follow. If you can't tell me your favorite pastor's favorite Bible verse and what you've learned about the Bible this week from following him or her, just stop following them. Because a lot of these people are like literally feeding you more of their identity and their personality than they're feeding you Christ. And like, a lot of us are walking around here spiritually bankrupt because a lot of the places that we're going to build a solid foundation don't have the materials that we need. So rough, wild, sorry about it, but just wanted you to know that I love you. I really do. Like, I think that this is serious, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't. I do think that this is serious. I do think this is something we need to take seriously, and I do think that we have to now more than ever really get on the side of Christ and really avoid any area in your life that's kind of forcing you to say like, oh no, you're doing too much, you're just taking it too serious. You cannot take it too seriously when someone died for you to have a relationship with them. Like, you can't take that too seriously, especially when that same person also says like, I'm coming back for you, but I'm coming back for a bride that's pure and spotless. And also, before I do that, a lot of you are going to fall away. Like, you can't take that too seriously. And I really think that if you are a person who believes that Jesus died on the cross for your sins and you have changed your life to live according to that, you also have to believe every other thing that he says. And some of the other things that he says are warnings to us if we're not living in accordance to what we need to in order to be prepared for when those times come. So a little rough, I'm sorry, but I could not say that I love you if I didn't tell you the truth, and this is the truth. So if you don't know that this is the truth, we can get into the word together. And if you're not in an environment where these kinds of things are being talked about in your spiritual formation, get out of it. Like, find better people to talk to and listen to, and or find better resources about scripture, because people are gifts from God. So anyways, I love you. This is a long video, but I just wanted to say that, and that's it. Bye.